In Pinball Showdown, players are pinballs that have just entered a pinball playfield and multi-ball has begun. The pinballs are competing for playfield objects, trying to get the most valuable objects to score the most points. To start with the components, each player has 20 tokens. The tokens are double-sided between control and speed. Everyone starts at speed 5, so you have 5 tokens set to speed side, the rest being on the control side. The playfield cards are the next component that needs to be described. The point value at the top is the value of the card if you score it in your score pile at the end of the game. The name follows beneath the score. The speed you need to require to claim the card is here. So this one needs 3 or 2 or more. This one needs 6 or more, so at the start of the game no one can actually claim that card. The final piece of information is how much the card changes your speed when you claim it. There are 4 categories of cards that do that. The red cards, with the red minus circles on them, reduce your speed. So if you were to claim this card, for example, you would flip one of your speed markers to control. Similarly, for the bash toy, there are 3 icons, so 3 of your speed markers would flip to control, leaving you at 2 speed. The green cards have the reverse effect. They increase your speed. So if you were to claim the pop bumper, you would flip 4 tokens over to be now going speed 9. The blue cards set your speed to whatever the number is on the card itself. In this case, this would set your speed to 6. So right now that would not change your speed a whole lot. But if you're going speed 1, it's pretty awesome. If you're going speed 12, not so much. Finally, the white cards do not have any effect on your speed at all. So how the game is played is the deck of cards is shuffled, and 10 cards are dealt out to each player to form their starting hand. Then, after picking a first player, the first player flips up the first card from the deck. Then each player takes their hand, looks through the cards, and picks a card to place face down. The other 2 players do this as well. The cards are then mixed up and placed out with the flipped card. So in this case we have a pop bumper, a drop target, a scoop hole, and a captive ball. Now, starting with the first player, there's a once around set of turns where people get to spend control. Players get to spend control. Starting with the first player, the first thing you can do with your control, you can do 3 things. The first is use your control to steer your pinball toward a playfield object. In this case, first player wants that drop target, so he's going to spend 2 control to try to claim that card. The other thing you can do is increase your speed. So the second, once he's done with that, the next player goes. The second player decides he really wants the captive ball. So to do that, he flips up to increase his speed by 1. But to do that, he then has to discard an additional token out of the game forever. So now he's going speed 6. Additionally, he could actually place a control marker on there to basically claim that card. But since none of the other 2 players are going speed 6, he decides not to do that. So he passes. The third player now can decide, you know what, he really wants that drop target more than the first player, so he has to now, you have to spend more control than the other player, so in this case he has to spend 3. This basically is his pinball colliding with the first player's pinball to push it out of the way. Now, because the pinball has collided, the momentum from this pinball transfers to this player. So this player can now take these tokens and convert them to speed. They can convert both to speed, 1 to speed, or none to speed, their choice. In this case, he's going to convert both to speed. So the third thing you can do with your control is spend 2 control, again, out of the game to claim a discarded card. Now, obviously, in the first round, there is no discard pile, so that's not an option. So after this player is done and passes, we resolve the collecting playfield objects. This player claims the drop target. Again, these go out of the game forever, and he puts this in his scoring pile and reduces his speed by 1 because that's the effect the card has. Now, starting with the first player and going around, each player claims a card. You only claim 1 card per turn. So now, you'll notice this player is now going speed 7, so this player should have probably put a control marker on this because now this player is eligible to take this card, and he will take it. His speed reduces by 4 as a result. And now this player decides to take the scoop hole and put it in his score pile, and his speed is set to 6, which it already is, so he's fine. This pop bumper now goes into the discard pile, which is eligible to be bought for the 2 control in future turns. When it's bought, it goes into your hand, not into your score pile. That's an important thing. So after this is all resolved, the first player marker passes. Now for future turns, you have to check combo cards. So for next turn, again, a card goes out, everyone puts a card in, and we repeat the process again. So in this case we have a rubber, 2 rubbers, and a kick-out hole. So at this point, if this player going first, if this player who has gotten the drop target here got the flipper, that would allow him to claim a combo. Combos have 2 different objects on each of them. In this case, it's a flipper, drop target, rubber, medium ramp, bash toy, rollover. So at the end of the round, if that player had claimed that card, let's just say this is what happens. This goes here. We check for combos. This player has this combo, so he would claim this combo card and put it in his score pile. He's going to get a bonus 5,500 points at the end of the game. Bonus points don't double. And how do points double? Well, that's how wizard mode is. That's what wizard mode is. Because he claimed a combo card, the next turn is going to be a wizard mode turn. So what that means is all of the cards that come up on this turn are going to be double points for the people who claim them. So for example, if this player were to claim this stand-up target, it would go here, his ×2 marker would go on it, and it scores 2,000 points for him at the end of the game as opposed to 1,000 points. Wizard mode stays in effect for the next, at the end of that turn, wizard mode shuts off unless one of 2 things happens. Either another combo card is claimed, or a player is going speed 12 or greater because his pinball's whipping around and smashing stuff. If neither of those conditions are met, wizard mode turns off and is only reactivated when another combo card is taken. The game goes for 10 turns, or could go shorter if someone drains. Draining is when your speed drops to 0. When your speed drops to 0, in the first 5 turns of the game is on what's called autosave. So that means after you claim your card, you reset your speed to 5 automatically. From turn 6 and greater, that's no longer the case. After turn 6, if someone drains, that is the last turn of the game. You finish out claiming cards, get any combos, and then the game ends and you score. Scoring, you add up the cards in your score pile, all the cards in your ×2 pile, ×2, and every token that you have left, regardless of whether it's on speed or control, at the end of the game is worth an additional 100 points. The player with the most points wins. And that's Pinball Showdown.